The health crisis has led to a housing crisis out in the Hamptons. Right now in the Hamptons, landlords are reporting that tenants who moved in March have stopped paying rent and started squatting in their rental properties. This is wreaking financial havoc on those who collect seasonal rents in the summer and rely on that money for income. But landlords have been made powerless by the moratorium on evictions put into place by Governor Cuomo back in March. I'm Tom O'Byrne, real estate agent with Douglas Elliman Real Estate, the #1 brokerage in New York, and I make videos on the New York City and Long Island real estate markets to empower people in their New York real estate decisions. If you want to stay up to date, hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. It helps out a ton. So what is going on out east? A few days ago, I published a video about how the health pandemic has created a landlord's market out in the Hamptons, with prices skyrocketing for rentals out of a rapid surge in demand from New Yorkers leaving the city. Click that card above to watch that video. But at the end of the video, I mentioned a potential problem that loomed for landlords. Back in March, Governor Cuomo put a moratorium on evictions until August 20th. And at the time, people focused on its impact on long-term rentals, but inevitably it would have an impact on vacation rentals too. Some people are saying the eviction freeze is applied too broadly, and the measure intended to help those affected by the crisis is being used as an opportunity for those who are just pocketing rent money. Basically, people could stop paying their pricey seasonal rent, keep living in the home, and landlords could do nothing about it. But it looks like that's already begun with tenants who signed short-term deals back in March, causing nothing but headache for landlords who depend on summer rates. Now, before I go any further, I just want to say if you are a tenant holding out, using this loophole to your advantage, you should probably reverse course immediately. Not only is it just wrong, you could be setting yourself up for serious legal fees and penalties long term. And the moratorium is a freeze on evictions, not on your rent. I'm not a lawyer, but people who are saying that you're going to owe for the time that you've occupied after the moratorium ends, at some point. This could have a lasting impact on your financial health, your credit, and your ability to rent an apartment in the future. Now would be a good time just to abide by the terms of your lease and find a new place to live before you find yourself in court and racking up legal fees. But moving on, the intention behind this order was to get landlords to work out some kind of deal with tenants who either lost their job or were furloughed during the health crisis. And while it worked in some cases, probably in most cases, it came with some unintended consequences. Now tenants can stop paying rent, they don't have to move, and landlords have no recourse since they can't evict them. And that's what we're seeing right now with people who moved in for what was supposed to be short term before March. Local landlords and real estate brokers claim that some are using the state's non-eviction order to squat. The tenants are now allegedly twisting the non-eviction order to their benefit, refusing to vacate even though their leases are up. And exasperated local landlords say there's nothing they can do about it. An owner in Sag Harbor who wanted to remain anonymous claimed he started renting his home short-term for $3,600, and in April, his tenant stopped paying because he said he couldn't. The homeowner, however, claims this person is wealthy and hardly cash-strapped, so they're just manipulating the system. And normally this owner would charge $15,000 for the month of May alone, and at least $55,000 to rent the home between Memorial and Labor Day. And that was this owner's plan when they signed the short-term lease back in March. But now he's frustrated because that income that he was going to use collecting the summer season is used to pay for his son's school. A female landlord in Watermill said she began renting several rooms of her home in the fall for $1,600 a month. Her tenant stopped paying rent in March. The homeowner said she could be getting up to $90,000 in income by renting most of the house for the season, but now she can't. Some local landlords are offering their holdout tenants cash so they can get them out before the season and make the money that they were counting on in the summer. The landlords are basically saying, here, just take this money and get out. But not everyone can afford to do that, and some tenants have even turned down the offer. Andrew Saunders, founder of Saunders & Associates, a top Hamptons brokerage firm, was one of the several real estate professionals who told the New York Post that such scenarios are playing out across the area. He said, the laws as they are in New York allow this to happen. It's an unintended consequence of newer laws that prevent people from being evicted right now. The homeowners can't get the March-April tenants out, and they have higher paying tenants set to arrive Memorial Day. Some of the holdout renters are even refusing to allow brokers into homes to show potential buyers when the properties are listed for sale. And this is all according to Saunders. But he said that for landlords like himself, in summer-centric areas such as the Hamptons, it's a win-less situation. If the lower paying tenants refuse to leave, the homeowners can't do anything about it until at least August 20th. and the prime rental season is already over at that point. According to the Post, none of the tenants responded to a message seeking comment. And prior to the moratorium, this was not the concern of seasonal landlords out in the Hamptons. Under a relatively new law in New York, landlords can collect only 1 month's rent at a time. This is a big change for seasonal rentals out east. Landlords usually collect the whole season up front. Prior to March, this had many concerned that renters would pack up and skip out on their lease early when the season started to slow down. But, as you can see, there was a new problem for Hampton's landlords. Again, my recommendation, if you are a tenant, using this loophole to your advantage for short-term gain, you could seriously be creating long-term legal, financial, and housing trouble for yourself by not abiding by the terms of your original lease. And the sooner you clear this up with the homeowner, the better. But thanks for watching. I'm Tom O'Byrne, real estate agent with Douglas Sullivan Real Estate, the #1 brokerage in New York. I make videos on the New York City and Long Island real estate markets to empower people in New York in their real estate decisions. If you want to stay up to date, hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.